like big games. Playoffs is fun time. Everybody plays at 100%. It's just fun to be out there. I think we have a great team. We have guys that are willing to go to war. Everybody's staying together. The chemistry is high, so I think we for sure have a chance.
Joined now by Brian Windhorst. The NBA playoffs get going in earnest this weekend. And you know, Windy, in the NCAA tournament, like a first weekend where you end up, happened this year, UConn, Florida, right? Like it was a first weekend game, but it felt like it could have been a Final Four game. It feels like we got some series right out of the gate with some real, sex appeal and intrigue. Let's start with Luka and the Lakers and Ant and the Timberwolves. In terms of assessing what direction that series goes, what tilts the balance in your opinion?
So, yeah, I'm going to just say, you're going to see the schedules and you're going to see the team name and you see a little number next to the team, which is their seed. I'm going to advise you to toss that number. The seeds, especially between 2 and 7, they don't matter. Luka last year terrorized the Wolves, terrorized them. He took Rudy Gobert, who was polishing his 4th consecutive Defensive Player of the Year trophy, and he just undercut him totally. And that scar tissue is still there for the Wolves, even though he's playing on a completely different team. So I think he's going to come into this series looking to hunt. But the Lakers are a roster that is incomplete. There are advantages for the Wolves in this series, particularly the fact that Ant Edwards can just score like crazy. So this series, you want to say it's 6 versus 3, I wish you luck, because this series is really tight in my view.
I agree, and you know me well. I'm not Mr. Hot Take, but I think that there's a much more than zero chance that Anthony Edwards could prove to be the biggest star in this series. And there is a gigantic solar system of stars. Do you think that there's a possibility that not just for a night, but potentially for the balance of a series, you could, at the end of it, go, you know who the best player in the series was? Edwards.
If he is, and he can do it 4 times, he might be able to pull it off. What I think the Lakers are going to do is they're going to throw double teams at him, because this is what the book on Ant Edwards has been throughout the year, especially. So I think J.J. Redick is going to say, Ant, God bless you. Somebody else is going to beat us. We are going to take the ball out of your hands. And whether Ant can be mature about that, because he's complained about it before, he has to use his teammates. But that chess game is going to be a big part of this series, and watching how Luka and LeBron play with each other.
I think we could have a tremendous series there. And look, Steph, Golden State.
There's some things that Ant can do that are just flat out explosive. But in an NBA setting this year, the thing that you can do to Ant that you couldn't do last year when they made the Western Conference Finals is you can double team him like crazy. This is something that he has had to mentally get through this year, is how often teams have double teamed him, because the profile of the offense for the Timberwolves is just different this year. They don't have Karl Towns. And for a big part of the year, Dante DiVincenzo was in a slump or injured. They haven't had the relief valves for the double teams. And I think double teaming Ant will be a big part of the Lakers' strategy in this series. I'm not saying you're going to see it in the first possession of the first quarter, but you can do some things to force the ball out of Ant's hands. You look at the Lakers, and it's you double team and you're asking for a big amount of trouble. The amount of talent they have on their perimeter. So the truth is, again, if I was looking at trying to deal with both of them one-on-one, Ant is an absolute beast. But the way the two teams are aligned, Luka is a scarier proposition. He's so tall. He can create so many things for his teammates. They spread the floor really effectively. I think the answer is Luka.
Luka is the scarier matchup, but let's crystallize why that is. Because he just finished destroying them last year. Every time he goes up against Minnesota, he puts it on them. And so, psychologically, if I kick your ass constantly, and then I got to look forward to facing you in the postseason, well, that's a very daunting task that I have no choice but to embrace. I can't run from it because it's an obligation. I'm trying to win a playoff series. That's the problem that the Minnesota Timberwolves have, that Luka keeps giving it to them. But I'm going to tell you this. You better be scared of Anthony Edwards. The Ant-Man is coming. And I'm not talking. I believe that after seeing him in the playoffs last year, the way he went at Phoenix, the way he went at Denver, when he wasn't fatigued, okay? I think this brother is so special. And the fact that you have a whole bunch of people out there, myself included, who believe that the Los Angeles Lakers are going to win this series. The fact that you have Luka and LeBron coming your way, and there's 2 stars, mega stars, playing for the Los Angeles Lakers, okay? This is an opportunity. There has never been a greater opportunity. Not even last year's postseason run wasn't a greater opportunity for Ant-Man to cement his star status than the opportunity that's presenting itself right now with LeBron James and Luka Doncic right across from him. He knows it. His personality tells you he knows it. That brother is coming. I believe in him. I don't believe they'll win this series, but I believe it's going to be a long one because I believe Anthony Edwards is going to go berserk. J.J. Redick and his coaching staff will have something for him in moments because they're just too good not to. But this brother's special, and he's going to show us why.
Yeah, I'm with Stephen A., and I'll take it a step further. I do think he's the scariest matchup because of all the things you just said. I mean, I remember last time I was on the show, Marcus Morris was here, and he talked about, he used the words Jordan-esque at times for Kyrie, and me and Stephen A. almost, our jaws hit the floor.
Kawhi. Yeah.
About Kawhi Leonard. And Stephen A. and I, our jaws hit the floor. You talk about Jordan-esque, it is this guy. And I can't help but think exactly what Stephen A. just said. These lights, the eyeballs on Ant Edwards right now are by far the biggest they've ever been. I'm thinking Michael Jordan, and this is a more developed probably than Jordan even was in 86. You think about Jordan dropping 63 on the Celtics in 86. He wasn't ready yet to take the big step, but he was ready to show the world he was the best player in basketball. We've seen Ja Morant's struggles. Ant Edwards has such an opportunity to be the face of this league. I think he knows that. I think he likes the position he's in, and I think he has nothing to lose. I think he is an absolute danger and a menace in this series.
I think it's fair to point out that the Wolves did win 9 of their last 11 games. They're coming into this on a hot streak, but I think the opportunity is for Luka. I mean, he is going to face a team that he is very, very comfortable in facing. He knows the way they defend him. He knows he's going to get into good spots. He gets to play the first 2 games at home where the Lakers are great. I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm not undercutting what you're saying about Ant's opportunity, but I think if Luka could have picked a team to go against in this first round, he might have picked this team where he can get these switches where he can go up against a Rudy Gobert or other bigs.
You and I both know that Rudy Gobert ain't going to see but so much time in this series. They can't have Rudy Gobert on the floor. I mean, the minute Luka shows up in a cab on Uber or gets off a flight, Rudy Gobert's in panic mode. You can't have that. We will not see Rudy Gobert too much in this series. But let me tell you where it's going to be interesting. We're going to see a lot from J.J. Redick and his coaching staff in this series as well. Because the J.J. Redick that I know, the 27.6 points per game, 4th in the NBA for an Anthony Edwards. This is the J.J. Redick I know. This is the kind of stuff that he's going to pay attention to. 323 pointers made. Led the NBA. This is Ant-Man that we're talking about here. Usage rate, 31%. I'm looking career high, 39.5% from three-point range. 3rd best three-point percentage for a player who averaged at least 25 points per game behind KD and Jokic. That's who we're talking about here in Ant-Man. So I'm looking at the usage rate and his willingness to shoot the three. J.J. Redick is going to look at something like that. He'll have a plan for it. I just think Anthony Edwards is so damn special that somehow, some way, he is going to be determined not to let his star dim in the presence of LeBron and Luka. And that is what I think
the plan is going to be to get the ball out of his hands by swarming him.
Sure.
That's what they're going to do.
Sure. And, they've tried it before, and sometimes it's worked, but this is the postseason. And we remember what we saw from Ant-Man last year. We remember what we saw from him. You understand? And I think we're going to see it on an elevated level this go round.
We'll see.
All right.
We all have a plan till you get punched in the face. Hey, Stephen A., I heard you had
Hôm nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn cách làm một sợi thun cột tóc đơn giản từ len nhé. Nguyên liệu mình cần có chính là len. Mình sẽ sử dụng 2 màu sắc như này để làm nhé mọi người. Đó là xanh và hồng sẽ kết hợp lại với nhau nhé. Mọi người chuẩn bị kim móc len này, kéo này và thun. Mình dùng để mình cho vào bên trong nhé, cho vào bên trong tạo cái độ co giãn. Đấy. Giờ sẽ bắt tay vào làm. Đầu tiên thì dùng cái phần len màu hồng trước đi.